latest on those terror attacks that unfolded in Brussels, Belgium this morning at around 3 a.m. Eastern time during their morning rush hour. This is the scene as it unfolded. Terrified passengers running for their lives at the airport. And this photo here shows the damage. At least 2 different attacks across the city this morning.
And here is what we know right now. It is changing. At least 2 explosions hit that airport. Another rocked a metro station. At least 28 people now killed, dozens injured. All airport and public transportation in Brussels now shut down, and the terror level there raised to maximum, the highest. The U.S. Embassy is advising Americans in Brussels to shelter there in place.
Alert levels raised here in New York as well, and other American cities. We have full coverage right now. We're going to begin with ABC's Alex Marquardt. He is on the scene at the Brussels airport with the latest. Good morning, Alex.
Good morning, George. Dramatic scenes here at the Brussels-Zaventem Airport, one of the biggest international airports in Europe. This is the edge of the police perimeter. We've been told to stop here. Passengers talking about scenes of utter pandemonium inside. These 2 explosions, now one of which we understand was from a suicide bomber coming just after 8 o'clock at the peak of travel time. You can see here there have been thousands of people streaming out from this airport. Just now, a new wave of people with their bags, some clutching those airline blankets that we've all used. They have their bags with them. This is a calm scene here, but you can see their faces are drawn. They're very serious. There's a lot of confusion, people trying to figure out how to get away from the airport. There are buses lined up taking people away, but the people we spoke to inside describe much more dramatic scenes. We spoke to an eyewitness who was checking into the American Airlines counter when the first explosion went off, about 30 yards away from him. He thought that it took place closer to the Delta counter, and that's going to be one of the things that experts look into now, is whether anything specifically was targeted in the airport. But eyewitnesses talking about scenes of utter carnage, bodies on the floor, of debris everywhere, of ceiling tiles on the floor. Absolute chaos.
Hey, Alex.
The first explosion occurred at 8 a.m., the heart of the morning rush hour at Brussels-Zaventem Airport. Witnesses described the ceiling caving in and blood all over the departure hall. About 10 minutes later, a second blast, louder than the first, bringing down ceilings and rupturing pipes, water mixing with blood from the victims.
We heard an explosion. The ceiling went down, so I dropped down on top of my girl. And then there was a second explosion. There was an American guy next to me. He took his girlfriend. We all dropped on the floor.
At least 13 dead, the number of injured still being counted. Witnesses described it as a war zone. Air traffic control warned the planes circling in the air.
There have been explosions in the terminal hall. That's why we don't allow any aircraft anymore.
Moments later, an explosion at the Malbec subway station, close to the headquarters of the European Union. Panic when commuters heard a loud boom as the train left the station. First responders ran through the street outside with people on stretchers, their clothes badly torn.
I just stood off the metro when we heard a loud, muffled thud. More panic set in. Some people started running.
These coordinated attacks come as the Belgian capital has been on high alert following the arrest of suspected Paris attacker Salah Abdeslam last week. You can see now these buses pulling away with people inside, those travelers being taken away from the airport. After that attack at the metro station, the entire Brussels metro system has been shut down. We understand 15 people were killed in that attack, in addition to 13 here. That brings the death toll to close to 30. The entire public transit system across Brussels, including the airport, the metro, the buses, and the trains, has been shut down. European intelligence officials have been telling us for months it was not a question of if, but when the next terrorist attack would happen. George?
Okay, Alex, thanks very much.